Everybody, it's Marty the Party and Rhett, the something. I wish we didn't name her when my wife picked her up, bought her. She was 5 years old and she'd already had a name, and they actually named her Rhett because they thought she was a male, and they had gotten her DNA tested and she was supposed to be a male. And then I think you know what, I'm not 100% sure on this because it's been a long time, but I believe what happened is she laid some eggs and they were like, oh wait, maybe she's not a male. So anyways, which is kind of funny because now that I recant, that is actually such a weird political thing nowadays. So whatever, let's try to avoid that. I have absolutely no insights into that sort of thing. But yesterday, um, we sort of had a pretty good mix of like technical stuff and then like subject matter stuff. So there's like whenever you're trying to develop some kind of software, there's like subject matter. And they have typically many times there'll be someone called like a subject matter expert, someone who kind of just knows how things work. And then you have coders and people who know how to code. And then there's sort of like a bleeding between the two. And so like one of the things that's like in subject matter was like I don't remember it returning like if you would say something like hello. Yesterday we said hello and then it returned like HELLOO, and it's like why did that happen? I don't remember that happening. And the thing you got to keep in mind is that with this API, it actually is not in the browser. It's the API is in the browser, but the API leverages the operating system. So maybe I had an operating system upgrade where they added that functionality, or maybe I just never noticed it before. There's no telling, but now we do know that you're going to get like non-English. Even though you say English, you're going to get words that aren't in the English dictionary. You're going to get slang sort of things as well. I think that it didn't call it slang, but you're going to get that, and that's just like a piece of knowledge to know that isn't really technically technical, but it's not. It's more of a subject matter kind of thing. But you wouldn't expect some linguistics person to know that either. Like, so let's say you were working on some kind of project that's going to use this and they had hired some linguistics people to be your subject matter experts. They wouldn't know that either. It's sort of in the middle, because it's not really like a part of looping. And it's not like the like the API itself is documented, but it's not really like the underlying operating system piece that feeds the API is not as well documented, or at least not as openly available, and it's not as consistent. Like, so, one of the things about the browser is the browser should be the same across platforms. That's the general idea. And a platform is like, okay, so on Windows it's going to be the same, and it's going to be the same on Apple, and it's going to be the same on Ubuntu, and you're going to have this Chrome within that little browser. Everything is behaves the same way, but some things that the browser does is leveraged off the operating system. So that's why Chrome inside of like an Apple machine looks different than Chrome inside of a Windows machine because it leverages the button um, of the operating system. But then sometimes, like with styles and stuff, you can do things so that it does stay consistent. And so there's a lot of layers of technology. So that's one thing. And another thing that I kind of stumbled on to yesterday that I hadn't really ever thought about before was strong typing. Yeah, strong typing is not probably a very good idea when the API is still immature, when the API has not been set up yet. We tried to do some strong typing, and ChatGPT gave us some types, and then the types didn't exist, and then it's like, oh yeah, yeah, because the browser doesn't recognize those types, and it's like, what the hell? And then it's like, yeah, make up your own types. Yeah, just create your own typing um, and then make up your own. And it's just like, look, that totally defeats the whole damn purpose. I don't know why you would have types. The whole point to having types is that you know what it's supposed to be. If you're just making that stuff up yourself, or you're just making that stuff up based on what ChatGPT or some, so-called expert or something says, you're at the whim, right, of the browser. If the browser decides that they're going to go a different direction, you got these types that are telling the browser, yeah, this is how this works, when that is not how it works. The whole point is I want to know how it works. So that was an interesting thing to think through. It's just like, how stable is the API you're working with? If it's super stable, then strong typing makes a lot of sense. If it's not very stable, then strong typing could actually probably be more of a problem than it's worth. All right, so my technical goal for today is to do this. Hello. And then look in here, and I see my green, find my green thing, and see that I have 5, and then I want to see the 5 in here. So that's my first goal for today. If depending on how long it takes, and since I already did a 6-minute rant, that's about all I'm going to get to do. So let's go ahead and just look for transcript colon. Like, how many transcript colons can there possibly be? I probably should have already committed this stuff for a video, but I didn't. So there's only one transcript colon. Now this is funny because I swear, like 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, yeah, like in 2019, 2020, 2018, if you were working on an Angular application, you would never see the word transcript in the HTML. You would see something like this. My gosh. And like colon ES or lang or something. And so and then there would be some JSON file that was set up for English, and it would have whatever the word tran types to, whatever it is associated with. But and then there would be maybe another one that was a French one, and it would have the trans for France and for French and all that. And that made it much harder because basically you had to find anywhere where you had the word transcript, and then you would have to find that code. But a lot of times there was 6 or 7 of them, so it was very, very hard to find where text was in the HTML. And then like almost overnight that just disappeared. Like literally I had worked at like 8 jobs in a row that had that, and then like haven't seen it since. It's so wild. But anyway, so we have our transcript, so result cont, and so basically we have apparently our results here. So looks like we want to do a for loop. Now, I believe the way you do fors in Angular 18 and Angular 19 now, percent for, is that like that? No, hashtag for. Hashtag for? I don't know. I probably have no. Oh, at for. At for. And then let's see if we can find an at for an example. This is our only at for. Okay. I'm still a little bit peeved at ChatGPT for giving me that very judgy result thing yesterday. Use at for. I'm actually still really thinking about that. Like I'm doing a lot of self. Oh my gosh, that's so weird. I hit tab and for in Angular. Like why that got me so triggered, like that's a lot to think about. So at for, and then why I would be up. That's so weird that it goes. I didn't think you put it inside of a div. That's so weird. I thought I did it at like at 4, and let's say, and I'm gonna call this, put this in at 4 equals, and then let result in of the results. Okay, so guess we'll put it in a div. For some reason, man, that's so weird. I could have sworn this was went outside of. Yeah, see here, like here, I didn't do it inside. I didn't do it like the way this is. So that's weird. I thought you did it like that, like the way I have that below, that add if below. Oh, and then I don't think I need, I think that's supposed to be inside of quotes. Man, that really threw me off, whatever that is. Okay, so let results of result. Um, question mark? See what it gives me for that. See, it's saying as, I guess that is it. Yeah, see, that is of items. Colon track index. So let. Oh, okay, and they don't have the let. And then is it track I? So I don't know if like I probably would have been better off just finding an example that I have inside of dollar index, inside of like one of my other applications, um, than doing this. And I don't know what that first thing was. That really was interesting. Um, so then we're gonna say result. I think there's more to result. I think there's a lot to result. Result. Yeah, so basically there was two of them, and it gave me this object. And then let's see. Let's see if I just pipe it into the JSON pipe, which, just so you know, that is only available to me because I did a very specific, well, oh, common module. Because common module, if you don't have common module and the standalones, you won't be able to use that JSON. So if you want to use a like pipe JSON or something like that, you have to um, import your common modules. Common. Be curious if common is one of the alternates to common. So there was 4. See, but the JSON pipe doesn't work anymore, which is really weird because it used to actually print out everything in there. Um, so I believe we have everything in a console log, so we can break that down. Let's see, it's results. Okay, so we have transcript and confidence is all we have. And then let's see, common. There was two of them, so I'm very curious what the second one was, and I think we should get to see it now. Whoa. So it had three this time. So it thought it was 85%, but it thought it might be this, which I believe is a kind of lizard or something like that. And it was a tie. And then I don't even know what that is. I don't have the vaguest idea. And that's a tie too. What is that? Oh, it's Cayman Rider Cities. Oh, apparently that's town and cities is the name. Cultural. So it'd be interesting why it gave common, since it gave them the same percentage. Oh no, it didn't give them this. Yeah, it gave them the exact. It gave all three of these the exact same percentage um, likelihood when or I guess this is recognition, not likelihood. Um, I guess it gives you the first one based on likelihood, and I kind of wish it gave you that information, like likelihood. The one I think you said, the one that you most likely said about. Whoa. Okay. You know, there is a town in Georgia called Cumming, and I always wondered where that came from, but it looks like the powerful Scottish family is probably that. So that's interesting. Okay, there's this geographic surname today. I think, yeah, I won't, I won't say anything. And then cultural and corporate. Oh, yeah, that one is weird. So companies or individuals in leadership, like Matt. So, anyways, it thinks it might be the. It thinks that I probably said. I think because of the order, it thinks that probably said common, but it also thinks it's possible that I said this, which is like Japanese comic and something else. Oh wow, Slavic meaning stone, and it can be a common first name. So basically, it thinks it could be some name of something, a proper name, or it could be the word common, which, you know, like common is a common name, you know, of uh, cities and towns. If you said that, oh my gosh, who they? Because you could be talking about this common, or you could be talking about this. And so, anyway, so you have to be kind of curious about these kinds of things when you're trying to do development. I know that like it's easy to just be like, "Come on, man, I'm just worried about comma." Come on, man, let's try that. Okay, I have to try it. Um, but honestly, like I don't think you can make it as just a straight developer anymore. I think you have to be like a very curious individual that's curious um, about the domain. not just the coding. Come on. Come on. That's so weird. Let's see. So that was 4 words. Come on, come on. Had two. That is so funny. So it's thought that I could possibly have said, come on, which is what I said. Or I might have said, come on, come on, come on, 3 times. And what's really interesting is that this, so here's another big thing that we learned is that like the first one isn't always the highest confidence level. So, anyways, there's something. I'm probably way too long now, 20 minutes, but I think we should do this. We should set up, make this a little bit more readable. So I'm just going to put this in a table. So I think that to me it seems like over the time that I've been using ChatGPT that it has become less reliable, and I think a lot. I think I've heard a lot of people predict that that would happen. Um, that as the what it learned about got as what it was learning from got broader and more intermixed, along with variations in what things mean over time, that the value of it will go down. And I do think that that seems to be happening. I feel like um, when I first started this web series, um, like it was just rock solid. It always gave really great answers. Um, Not just like they weren't just really great answers. Like they were really great answers, and it was delivered in a really great way. Um, and I think with time, um, like it's become a bit of a jerk, right? It's not as friendly as it used to be. Um, it's gotten more toxic with time, um, and then and and its answers are just pretty unreliable, and that's kind of a bummer. But you know, I think it was predicted. So um, you know, it's like probably, and it's just like I think what happens is like if you can carefully train it on very very good information, it's going to be incredible. But if you let too much other information, bad information, get mixed in, um, it will get it'll get worse. And then if time progresses and things that used to be right become wrong, things that were wrong become right, things the subtle meanings. Like I had a one of my probably one of my favorite people in the world. Um, he used to always say, patterns always become anti-patterns in software development, and that is so true. You know, it was just like the thing that they were saying you absolutely must do, you should never ever do today will be what exactly you're supposed to do tomorrow, and the thing that you were absolutely supposed to do will be the thing you're not supposed to do, and they will flip around. And I don't know how something like ChatGPT will be able to figure that out. Um, but anyways, let's try common again. Is common a good one? Yeah, let's try common again. Common. Yeah, so that's a lot better. Um, it did add another. Oh, it had five, so it was three before. Now it's added this one, which that's so strange because it's an exact match. Or it says I might have said Carmen, which I believe is like a person's name. Um, but this one is completely new and it's an exact match. So it's weird that it didn't show up last time. Um, and all of this is nothing to do with the browser. This is to do with the operating system and this version of the operating system. So, like, if you ran this exact same code on your computer, and then um, you said common, who knows what you're gonna get? You may get something completely different than me. Um, so, so that's good to understand, and gonna be so hard to explain, right? Like if you're trying to explain that to other people, that no, on depending on the computer. Now, what's yeah, because it's gonna be based on the browser of the. So that means that like I could like if I worked someplace and let's say all the developers are on the latest version of Windows, but like all the um, directors are on like one version back of Windows and they use this application, they're going to get different results based on their browsers. Or let's say all the developers are using Ubuntu and the all the admins are using Windows or yeah, Windows, then like this is going to give different results based on the computer that it's running on. And if I have if I have an Android and you have an Apple and we're both using this application, we're going to get different results. So the results are going to be extraordinarily inconsistent across operating systems. And then it's going to be extraordinarily inconsistent based on your voice and what you sound like and your inflections and things like that. So that is something to keep in mind when I did not want to do it that way. Come on. Okay, let's see what we got here. So just one value, one result back, and it was come on. Um, so now why that other one? I said come on, and then I waited a little bit, and then I said come on, and then it gave me two results back, and one of them was come on twice, and the other one was come on three times. Like, why? Why would it ever think that I said it three times? So again, we spent a good bit of time. Let me do this so that because I would love to just go over here, and I will. I guess I'll come over here and I'll say, okay, we added our new stuff. That's we've since the last time we did a commit. It would be nice if all I had was this change. Believe the only thing I did change for this video was this. I added, I don't know, I added the error. I made it red. That was yesterday. And then today we added these results. So we just made HTML tags. I think technically these HTML changes are for today, this was the only technical part of that conversation from a coding perspective. We had a lot more conversation than that. We talked about like the operating system and how things work and stuff like that. That was a conversation that was very technical, but that was a domain conversation. That was a subject matter conversation. It was not a coding conversation. And we are moving into a time like it used to be. There was a time when you could just be a coder and you could just be like, oh, I just know how to develop. And then it was just like, well, I just know how to develop front end. And now, but we're going in a time where like these things even have their own incomplete subject matter, right? It's like the subject matter is huge of the actual coding technologies, that subject. So then you kind of need to expand and be a subject matter expert in that. In my current job, we we are writing legislative software, and so now I'm working really hard to really understand how laws are created and all the different processes and why, and then trying to come up with technical sort of a- analogies, for that. So I don't know where we're headed with coding and development. It seems like what we should be is that like coding should kind of like be like reading or math or arithmetic or something, where like you learn a job and then you do and then you know how to code. That's how it should be. Ideally, that's how things should work. But unfortunately, um, we haven't figured out how to teach coding very effectively. So that means that, like, if you're going to school to be an accountant, you won't. The accounting people don't really know how to teach you how to code, and then, and I could tell you this: neither can the computer science people. They cannot teach you how to code. Um, so there are some people that know how to code, like they'll learn how to code as for because of where they grew up or what opportunities were in front of them at certain points in their lives. But and those people seem to be the people that do really well, right? Like my son's one is an attorney and he knows how to code. Like he doesn't do Angular or anything like that, but he understands coding. He can sit there and look at coding and work through coding and work through coding problems and stuff like that, and that has given him a huge leg up. My daughter is an account manager. She learned how to code when she was little. She still understands like all the process of coding, and she's been incredibly successful as an account manager. And my youngest son, he's learning to be an accountant. He's in college to be an accountant right now, and it's the same thing. Like everybody wants him to work in their projects with them because he can do the coding stuff, and that is that. I don't know. So anyways, we added one style so that our errors would have red. That was yesterday. I'm going to add this, git add, git commit -m. I believe I'm just working straight on the master branch, so that's good. And this is going to be, I'll be uploading this today on the 15th, and this is going to be video 57. Video 57. See, just because I have so many things mixed together, I can't even. I should have probably done these as separate commits, but I'm not going to. Various updates from the last few videos. Now Rhett just said, "Are you ready?" And she usually says that when at the end of the night, when it's time, when she's tired of us, she wants to go to sleep. She wants us to go to bed. She'll go like, "Are you ready?" And that's like her way of saying, "It's time to go to bed. Turn off the TV." Now when we're out there, if we don't turn on the TV, she gets upset because she enjoys watching TV, but she only wants to do that till about 9 or 10 o'clock, and then she's ready for bed. But anyway, so we pushed it. All that stuff's out there. If you want to play with this code, feel free. Happy coding, everybody. Bye.